Intergalactic, planetary, planetary, intergalactic, intergalactic, planetary, planetary, intergalactic.
Hey guys, it's Tom from EverydayGamers.com, and before I start this video, I just wanted to give a quick congratulations to both Benzo8686 and Splatter Trigger, two of the YouTubers that I subscribe to and watch their videos on a regular basis. Two really cool guys, but the congratulation goes out to them because they were just given a shout out on Happy Console Gamers, which if you don't know, let me put that into perspective for you. That would be like if I decided to develop a game and then EA Sports in the middle of Madden 2010 put an advertisement saying go pick up Tom's game, it's on store shelves now. That would be the equivalent of having, Happy Console Gamer shout you out on their channel. So congratulations guys, you both deserve it. If you haven't checked out their channels, make sure you do so. I'm sure they're going to be getting a ton of subscribers and they both deserve it, like I said. But anyways, happy 4th of July to all you guys out there. It is July 4th, and just wanted to say happy Independence Day. Make sure you have fun, but don't party too hard, and don't drink and drive for sure. Stay away from that. It's not funny stuff. But what I wanted to do today, and I've been meaning to do this, we're 7 months into the year now, and we've got one half of a year under our belts, and I figured it was time to go ahead and give you my top 5 games for the first half of 2009 so far. I just figured 5 because I could think of 5 off the top of my head that I felt were worthy titles of shouting out, worthy of mentioning to you, to all of you who watch my videos. I haven't done a DS video in a while, so I figured that it was time to do that as well. So we've got a DS video. But these games are in no particular order. It's just, my top 5 and what I feel are 5 games that you should definitely check out if you're a DS owner and if you're a fan of these, genre types. They may not be games that you particularly enjoy, especially if you don't like RPGs, because there are a couple RPG titles in there and a couple other different types of games in there as well. So they may not be your cup of tea, but they are mine, so this is my top 5. And like I said, no particular order, but let me just go ahead and start off with the game that's at the top of the pile here, and that is Nights in the Nightmare. I haven't done a video on this game since I first picked it up and did the unboxing. But let me just tell you, if you are a fan of tactical RPGs and that genre of video games, this is bar none one of the most original tactical RPGs on the Nintendo DS. It's a recent release from Atlas. You know how much of a fan of Atlas I am, and you'll see this in my top 5. But it's just the fact that they take the steps that they take, and they actually take the risks that they take when they put out a DS game, that makes them a game, or makes them a company that I enjoy, playing their video games so much. And they do that with all their games, whether it's DS or PlayStation 2. They're willing to take a chance. And Nights in the Nightmare definitely takes a chance, but in my opinion, it pays off in the end product. It's, like I said, it's a tactical RPG, and it's handled in a different type of way. It's going to take me too long to really explain it in depth and in detail. But let me just say this much. Basically, you're using the stylus to control your units on screen, and what you do is you're guiding a wisp on screen, and it's basically wherever you point the stylus is where your wisp is at, and then you touch your unit, and your unit actually goes ahead and performs the attack based on that. And then you use the wisp. You have to dodge enemy attacks, which basically it's like dodging bullets in a shoot 'em up. So it's really unique, and if that sounds at all interesting to you or confusing to you, check out some video on it. And if you're a fan of Atlas games, you should already have this in your collection. Alright, the next game that I have in my top 5 for the DS in 09 is Grand Theft Auto Chinatown Wars. I almost forgot the title. I do like the Grand Theft Auto games, and I always felt like they've been really well done on the consoles and on the platforms, the home consoles. the Liberty City stories and Vice City stories on the PSP weren't necessarily games that I got into. I felt like they were well done on the PSP. However, this is definitely the best portable GTA to date. It takes a three-quarter top-down perspective view and really utilizes the abilities of the DS. You know, some of the little tiny mini games that you perform when you're breaking into cars and whatnot, and the way you use the stylus to actually complete those challenges and those tasks is really unique and compelling. And you know, Rockstar definitely performed well in this game. They definitely came through, and it was one of the early releases for the year that was just like a must-have title if you were a DS owner and if you like the Grand Theft Auto games. One of some of the things that are missing are the the custom, or not custom soundtracks, but the actual soundtracks from the other Grand Theft Auto games. You know, they don't have that capability with a little tiny cartridge, but you know, they fit as much as they possibly can. It's a very big world, and to be able to fit as much as they have on a DS cartridge, my hat's off to Rockstar Games. Next game is a Nintendo title, and that is Rhythm Heaven. This is a game, like I said, developed by Nintendo, and it goes without saying that Nintendo always does well on their own consoles. When they create games for their consoles, they know what they're doing. And this game here, it's like a mix of WarioWare and a rhythm action game or a music genre game. It's kind of hard to explain, but I've done reviews on this, and this is just a really cool game. So many different unique mini games. There's so much to do that, you know, playing through this game you'll just continue to play through again and again and again. At least if you're like me. I mean, I picked this game up and I love it. It's one of my favorite DS games to date on the DS, and that's saying a lot because, needless to say, there are a lot of titles on the DS system, and a lot of good ones at that. But if you're a fan of the WarioWare series and you like mini games, especially when they're done well, Rhythm Heaven is a game that you should definitely check out. I definitely recommend it. And the next game is another Atlas title, The Dark Spire. Now, this game here, it's unapologetic in the sense of, the way they actually, put forth and produce this RPG and the way it comes across. It's like a classic 80s RPG, like Wizardry, on the PC, and they even have a wireframe mode where you're going through and it's like you're playing an old PC title. A lot of it's just text-based, and you just choose the attack, and it's really simple and simplistic in its approach and its style, but at the same time it's very artistic, and it's cool to see a company do something like this and to take a risk. And in my opinion, the risk pays off in just some really deep gameplay and some really repetitive, fun action. I really like The Dark Spire, and I would highly recommend it to any of you guys out there. And the last game is Super Robot Tyson OG Saga Endless Frontier. That's a mouthful. Another Atlas title, and one that the story's not so great, but the combat and the battle system is incredible. I haven't played a lot of it, but I have played enough to know that I love this game, and it's a lot of fun. And once I get through some of the other titles that I'm stuck in right now and that I'm really wrapped up in, then I do plan on going back and playing through that game. But I don't like to play multiple RPGs at one time. I want to focus on one story and at least try to understand what little bit of it I can. And anyways, guys, that's it. That's my top 5 so far for 2009. Let's hope that the second half of 2009 is as good for the DS as the first half has been. I know there's a couple titles that I haven't picked up yet that came out in the first half. However, from what I've read and from the reviews that I've heard, they wouldn't have made my top 5 list anyways. But if they do, and if they break into that, I'll do an update. I don't care. I don't mind doing that. And I will be picking those games up as soon as I possibly can, as soon as I get a couple paychecks in, try to keep the wife happy. But once again, happy 4th of July, everybody. Stay safe, and I will also be bringing you an update to the Q&A video soon. Maybe tonight, I don't know. I want to give enough of my viewers, enough time to actually respond to that video and to get their question in there. But even once I post that, if you guys decide that you want to continue to ask questions, I don't mind doing more Q&A videos, so we can always do that. Anyways, thanks again for watching. I appreciate all you guys, and I hope that you're having a great holiday season. And thanks again.